Hey friends, my name is Steve Guttenberg, and I am the audiophiliac. Do you know what this is? This is a Rolling Stones SACD. One of the things that's really interesting about this SACD is it doesn't say SACD on the outside of the packaging. It came out in 2002. All of the Rolling Stones titles, all the Rolling Stones albums, up till 1970, I believe, came out on SACD, and the CD versions of those titles were all discontinued. So it was a real attempt to get behind this format. This is early on in SACD days, that a major artist, the legacy of this band, came out on SACD. CD versions of these titles were all cut out of the catalog, and they sold lots of them, because you couldn't buy the CDs of these albums anymore. And that was 2002. Where have any other artists really committed to SACD in the last 10 years even? I don't think so. SACD is a dead format. And of course, this technology that's in an SACD, DSD, is now available in files. And yet, I'm not sure that that's really going anywhere. I mean, perhaps for classical music, but in terms of rock, pop, jazz, blues, world music, has any artist, a mainstream artist in any of those genres, committed to DSD, to put their music out consistently in DSD, that was recorded in DSD, that's not a PCM or analog-based recording? Not that I know of. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, just means I don't know about it. But you know, the SACD format is still alive. I'm about to review this Macintosh CD SACD transport, the MCT 500. I think that's what it's called. So it's not over yet for SACD. It's just not exactly thriving, let's put it that way. And that's kind of interesting, that it's in this kind of in-between state. It's not dead, it's not thriving, and then the technology that where the music is encoded on SACD's DSD is going, is doing better, but I wouldn't say it's going anywhere. Because in a way, some of that energy of the DSD followers has transferred over to MQA, another format that's sort of neither here nor there. Well, it's one place. It's on Tidal. Tidal streaming has, at this point, a few hundred or maybe 1,000 albums. But again, if MQA was such a great idea, why is it that Tidal is the only place to actually hear lots of MQA encoded music? That's very strange. And to put the extra weirdness on that is Tidal is the biggest supporter of MQA on the, let's say, software side, and yet they don't even call it MQA, they call it masters. So the only place that people really get to hear MQA is on Tidal, but Tidal doesn't call it MQA. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this Rolling Stones SACD that doesn't say SACD on the packaging. It actually says it on the inside somewhere, but it doesn't let you know it before you bought it back in 2002. It was a kind of a well-kept secret because the record company, APCO, didn't want to confuse people. Say, oh, SACD, will that play in my CD player? They just didn't tell you. And of course it did play in CD players, otherwise they wouldn't have discontinued the CD versions of those titles. It's confusing. I wouldn't blame anybody for being confused. Even people in the industry are confused about these always changing, morphing formats, that sort of come and go, and then at some point they fall off a cliff and they really are gone. But DSD, SACD, MQA, they're still out there. There's no doubt about that. I just wouldn't say they're really gaining any wider acceptance. That's the point. Tidal is committed to MQA, and I think that's a great thing. But if MQA is such a great thing, where's another streaming service that's embraced it? Spotify. There was a rumor in 2017's CES show that Spotify was going to go MQA, And crickets. No, they never did. So where's the second one? We'll see. There might be, but there's not one I know of right now. So if you're confused, I wouldn't blame you. Feel free to leave comments as always. I hope to see you back here again real soon. If you like the Audiophiliac Daily Show, please subscribe to it, and I will see you again soon.